Welcome to All the Gear But No Idea, the South Australian fishing podcast hosted by Rhodey and Diz. The boys will share their tall tales of the one that got away, as well as some regular segments they know all you fishing tragics will enjoy.
G'day guys and welcome to episode 26 of All the Gear But No Idea. Rhodey, good to be here with you, mate.
Always good to be here, catching up to talk a bit of fishing.
Absolutely,
on
mate.
South Australia's #1 fishing podcast is.
Yes, it's fantastic to be here with you, mate, and we've got a big episode. Don't you love it when we get two guests on?
Real double header special today.
It's absolutely great. We've got Moira Jenkins, the Mayor of Victor Harbour, recently fished in the Coast. We're going to hear all about that, and we've got a good little update from Lee Van Soest, fan and friend of the show. She's going to tell us what's going on with her Reeling in Junior Anglers program, as well as a bit of an update on the Marf facts. So we look forward to hearing all about that. Ready?
Yes, we do. It's a great episode we got for you all today. Two very good guests.
Yes, absolutely, mate. But for now, let's get stuck into the oranges and lemons. What has been your orange for the week, mate?
Well, my orange has been, so as you all know, we recently were over on Kangaroo Island doing some of our finest.
Mm-hmm.
And we stumbled, I think maybe, might have been your orange last week, Diz, was finding some nanny marks.
Yeah.
And it's really good to see that they're still firing. We gave the spots to another friend of the show, Tommy Jonas.
Yep.
He's been out there and pillaged them.
Yeah, no, he did well over there.
He did very well in the Nanagai. A couple of blue morwong on a couple of spots we gave him. So it's good to see that those spots are delivering, and we're looking forward to getting back there next year.
Do you think we're stupid for letting Tommy Jonas go there and just smash our marks? Or?
We'll certainly be expecting some back in return, won't we, Diz?
No, they did very well, and no doubt had some really good spots of their own that we'll look forward to getting back there.
No, we're just joking. He's a good fellow. We're happy to share.
Yes, absolutely.
Diz, what do you got for your orange?
Orange, well, mate, it's been a short week because we only got back from KI on the Monday, and we've had a bit of a debacle with car issues, which we've, deliberated on. I won't make you cry over that, but won't be long before we'll be getting out on the boat with our great mate Gavin Solly from Kangaroo Island Fishing Adventures down at Western River.
Mate, we are absolutely pumped to get great out and back out with the great man.
I thought I was excited. Huey Sangster is off his chops excited.
He's chomping at the bit.
He's chomping at the bit. Gav has absolutely got his eye in. Tommy Jonas and a few of his mates and support boys got out with Gavin, didn't he? Cleaned up.
Quote Tommy Jonas, we caught 100 whiting. Not sure that was an overestimation, but they did well.
Must have been. They would have cleaned up though, I'm sure. And I'm just going to roll straight into my lemon, mate.
Yeah, mate. What do you got?
And, well, we couldn't fish the coast to coast.
Yes, weather,
commitments,
weddings,
weather, and didn't line up. But as you'll hear later on in the show, Moira wasn't too happy with us.
she ripped into us, didn't she?
She absolutely let us have it.
So you'll hear that, guys. We copped it from the mayor.
But disappointed. We did enter because that was absolutely our plan, and that was great to support the event because it's an absolute great show, that one.
But obviously we were doing the right thing and listening to the advice of the experts.
We were, yeah.
6-metre boats weren't out on the Saturday, and you got to put your safety first.
Yes, mate. You do. What's your lemon?
Look, the car dramas. Last I saw you, Diz, was about 8 Ks out of Kingscote. You and Lucy just dumped me on the side of the road, said you could walk the rest of the way. Had a long day in Kingscote, sat on the foreshore and edited our last episode.
Yeah.
Anyway, got the car back. RAA had to tow it back to Adelaide. It's in the mechanics getting fixed as we speak, but geez, it's a saga.
How many steps are you up to now that you're all by foot?
Well, I did 23,000 steps around 23 kilometres I did around Kingscote that day. So, I'm looking forward to having my car back.
Yes, absolutely, mate. Fantastic. All right, let's just quickly touch on the merch. You can get the caps. You can get the stubby holders. It's just, obviously, there's always that option because we're constantly getting a good supply of them. Aussie decals. Brody, we've hit them up for some stickers.
Yes, so we did put a shout out on the Facebook for anyone who could help us out with some stickers. Anyone had a connection.
Yep.
And the Adelaide Boat Squitters in particular put us onto the Aussie Decal Depot.
Yep, we'd had some dramas like with files, and we're not very technical people, mate.
But they made it pretty easy, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
And I just heard from Andrew today.
Okay,
They're ready to collect, so we'll just get out to, I think it's Paraka, and pick them up. And the new stickers on the boat will look a treat.
And I saw that they just finished a big run with Troll So Hard.
Yes,
They've
looked
we'll
after
look
them.
forward to getting our hands on a few of those, mate.
To go with the hoodies, because we raged the hoodies pretty hard on KI, didn't we?
We certainly did. Right, Brody, let's get stuck into the news, mate. It's there's a bit going on.
Yeah, and we're going to start the news with a special guest today, Diz.
We absolutely are. It's fantastic to be joined by Lee Van Soest. Okay, welcome to the show, Lee. It's great to catch up and have a chat with you again. How are you going today?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Yeah, excellent. Thank you. What's been happening? You've been flat out with a whole number of things. Anybody who keeps up to date with you on Facebook knows you're a extremely busy lady. How are you keeping up with everything, Lee?
Yeah, it's been really, really busy. We've got the ambassador program on the go at the moment with voting, so there's a pretty fierce competition happening for the Zone 1, which is over Port Lincoln Way.
Yeah.
Which is really, really good. I think one of the young lads is up to about 51 votes at the moment, so that closes at 12 o'clock on Saturday.
Yeah.
And then on Sunday we'll be going into voting for Zone 2, and then so on until we get through the 7 zones.
Yeah,
so,
and just for our listeners, Lee, they can go on the Reeling In Junior Anglers Facebook page, and they like the photo that they of the angler, the junior angler they want to vote for. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. They've all written a little story because the part of the prize is getting a story published in SA Angler magazine. So, yeah, they've all had to do their little stories. They're so cute. I was just, smiling from ear to ear when I saw all the photos coming through and all their little stories about their fishing adventures. It's just like, I'm still like that when I go fishing, full of fishing, you've got that big smile, you high five everybody, it doesn't matter what it is. You're really happy that you caught a fish, but it's good to see the kids like that.
Yeah, absolutely, Lee. And this is genuinely grassroots stuff, isn't it? It's so good to see the passion in some of these young people, and they're very lucky, and we're all very lucky that you're helping foster that in this fantastic program you're running.
Yeah, it's really good. I'm really enjoying the ambassador program. We've got some, Shimano's come on board, and they're giving $250 worth of fishing gear to each of the ambassadors. So, that in itself is quite a lot to be giving away, and the kids are going to love it. But we're going to tailor it to. It's not the same prize for all the kids. It will be tailored to their type of fishing. So if there's someone up the riverland that fishes fresh water, they'll get freshwater gear, and the salties will get saltwater gear. So, that's really good of them to come on board. They also gave us a couple of $1,000 so that we could pay our insurance and, website and all the fees that we have to pay just to run without running events. So, we're very, very... I was crying when when I spoke to Colin about it. I actually cried when he said, we'll give you the money. So, it's been really, really good. We've had such a really good response from people. Yesterday, one of our board members actually donated a brand new trailer.
Yeah, I was just reading that, Lee. That's very, very impressive, isn't it?
It is. He is such a gem. He is such a good guy.
And a barbecue and generator as well, was that right?
Yeah, barbecue and generator. And, he's like, I've just gone and picked the trailer up. And I'm like, what? Didn't even know he was going to do it. And he's got the sign writing all organised. And he actually came on board, I think, with my very first post when I was sort of just putting feelers out. And he works for McMahon's, and he got just under $2,000 from McMahon's to help us get all the gazebos and the chairs and the tables and the eskies and all that sort of stuff. So, he's probably helped with $5,000 or more.
Wow.
It seems like you've got some real legends involved in that, Lee. They're really generous with their time and their money, aren't they?
They are. It's always the same people, you know. It's always the same people that put their hand up to help out, which is really good. I mean, it's hard sometimes because you're just spreading yourself so thin, but they're all really passionate about getting these kids out there, you know. It's something that we really, really need in this state.
Yeah, fantastic. No, it's really good. And Lee, tell us about the first clinic. It's lands on a weekend where we are both busy, actually on my buck show, unfortunately. Otherwise, we would be there. So tell us, it's Feb 20, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not this Saturday, the Saturday after. We're having it down at Garden Island on the boardwalk there. I sort of scouted around for a location where it's got to be easy for the kids to throw a line out. You know, the boardwalk's excellent. They might not catch very big fish, but that's not what fishing's about. So, that in itself, we had to get permits. This has probably taken us about 4 months to get to this stage. So it's really, really exciting. And, we're running with an IGFA program. It's called Passports to Fishing. And what happens is when the kids register, they get a little passport and they have to go to different stations. So at each station, there'll be things like basic tackle, a knot tying station, a conservation station, stewardship station, and casting and safety. And then they'll go off to actually fish. So they'll get little stamps on their passports, and they can't go to the next one until they've completed it. So things like say the conservation station, we've got a mat there and they have to measure the fish, and it poses a question like at this time of the year there's a band between November and December. The limit on the fish is, say, 30 centimetres. What does this fish measure? Can you keep it or do you have to release it? So they have to think about the time of the year it is, how big the fish is, all that sort of stuff. In the knot tying station, we've got this really big, it's like a shark hook that's got no barb on it and a rope, so they learn everything magnified. So it's such a fun program to work with. It's already set up, it's already tried and tested. I was very, very lucky to be able to run with this program. So, these kids are really going to have such a good time going through it, because I had so much time just doing the training on there. I was just like, this is brilliant,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really good. So once they do that, they'll move on to fishing. So they'll get a couple of hours fishing, and due to tides and things like that, we're actually going to be right on high tide when the clinic starts. So they'll be fishing the outgoing tide, but it is a port river and it's going to be flowing pretty quickly through there. So hopefully we can burley up, and I'm sure they'll be pretty happy to catch a pufferfish or something, a couple of STs, or who knows what they'll catch.
Yeah, any action will keep the kids happy, Lee, and it'll be good to have the next generation of fishos coming out with some good basic knowledge from the get-go, won't it?
Well, it will. It's also teaching the parents as well, because obviously, if they knew how to fish, they would be doing fishing themselves. So in most of the cases, the kids actually want to get out and fish, but the parents haven't learnt themselves. So we're basically educating the parents as well.
Yeah, we might have to sign Dizzy up for the knot tying at the next one. Are you looking for more volunteers still, Lee?
We do have enough volunteers to run it the way it needs to be run, but it's always, handy to have other people.
Yeah.
We'd pretty much be sort of doing two roles. We've got the 5 stations, so we need 5 people on the stations. Then we've got the fishing. We'd like, 3 or 4 people. We've got actually we're only supposed to have about 20 kids, but we've got about 25, I think. I just couldn't say no. And so I've actually got to find, 5 more rods so these kids can fish. And, that sort of stuff. But they're little. I mean, I've got enough rods here. I'm sure I can, lend them my good rods as long as they don't lose them over the tide. It'll be all right.
Yes, well, very impressed with what you're doing, Lee. And we also were reading in relation to this about the My Giving Circle campaign to assist with funding for this. So we're hoping that all our listeners can jump on the Facebook page of My Giving Circle and give you guys a vote to get some extra funding.
Yeah, it's really good. I only sort of seen that a couple of days ago, and I was just sitting here waiting for you guys to call, and I thought I'll have another look at that and registered. And it would be, I don't even know how to describe what we would be able to do with $27,000. We've got our next clinic. We're already planning our next clinic, which will be in April, and we're hoping to get over to Port Lincoln, but accommodations and petrol, you're probably looking about $1,200 to $1,400 to get over there just to run these clinics. And I want to keep them free. I don't want to be charging anyone. Kids can come for free. So, it all takes money, but something like that would probably set us up for the next 4 or 5 years. So it doesn't cost anything. You just get on there, you vote. I think we need, at the moment, about 2,180 votes to be in the top 20. So it's not unachievable.
Yes, so sounds...
We've got over 250,000 fishers in the state. 2,000 is not a lot of votes.
Yeah, well, we'll make sure we give it a share on our Facebook and Instagram and try and get as many of our listeners getting on board as we can, because as we say, it's a great cause and we really want it to succeed.
Thanks, guys.
Lee, tell us what's happening in the MARFAC. There's been a lot of stuff announced recently. I suppose most notably would have been the releasing of the survey results. Can you give us some insight there on that one?
Well, the survey was put together by the first MARFAC, and due to events, the second MARFAC has come in, and we've got the results of what people were after and what concerns they had. So using those results, we have worked through our strategic plan for the next 3 years. So the only way we're going to know is by people going on to do these surveys. So we've formulated our 3-year plan, which will be coming out for public consultation during March. I think mid-March it will come out, and people really, really need to get on and do this survey. If you want to have a say, if you're not happy with something, you need to say, or if you like something, you need to say, because this will formulate the plan for the next 3 years.
And this is going to go further into the rec licence discussion, is it, Lee?
It will, if that's how the survey comes back. If we get the majority of people saying they want a recreational fishing licence, then we'll be derelict in our duty if we don't look into it. That doesn't mean we're going to do it.
Yeah. But you'll at least look at it and give it a lot of thought.
Well, we need to have a look at it, and then we need to formulate how we want an RFL to look.
Yeah.
And then it needs to go again back out for public consultation.
Yeah.
And then it's not a short-term thing. It's not going to happen next week. And I think that's part of the problem. People see, people are in for an RFL. It's not going to happen tomorrow. We're talking, 12 months, 2 years time before something like this would come in, if that's what people wanted to happen.
But it's going to be a wider ranging survey, Lee, than just the RFL. It'll ask a lot of different things. Is that correct?
Oh, that's only a very tiny portion of it.
Yeah.
And it will be, are you in favour of an RFL type of question? Yes, no. There's a whole heap of things that will be on there. There'll be sustainability. There'll be how do you want this to go and how do you want that to go? But everybody needs to get on there. It's no good just saying, I don't want this to happen and I don't want this to happen. You have to get on there and let us know, because this is what we are going to be working for the next 3 years.
Yes, you make a great point. It is very important when these surveys and, like you say, public consultation is released, that the public do genuinely get involved and have their say, whether that be for it or against it or whatever it might be. So you're right, and we look forward to being able to help advocate for that, because we need to make sure that this happens for the future of rec fishing, and it's a great thing you guys are all doing on the Marfac.
Thanks.
Now, Lee, tell us, there's some Marfac voting coming up. So the original members are staying on, I believe, but those, including yourself, that were recently voted on, will be up for re-election. Tell us about that, Lee.
Okay, so the original members, there'll be David, Amanda and Peter, will be staying on for their term, which ends in 2022.
Yeah.
The RecFish chair will be staying on till 2022. Then we have Rob, Alicia, Brian, Andrew and myself. One of those people will be voted on by Marfac. So the board members that are already there will vote one person out of those to stay on.
Yeah.
And then everybody else will have to reapply if they want to stay on to Marfac. And then that will go out again like the first Marfac. Everybody will get a chance to run if they want to. And then they'll all go out for public voting. And then what happened last time, the people with the most votes will get voted onto Marfac.
Yeah,
again, very, very important that people vote. If
Yes,
you don't
definitely.
like the people on there and you don't like their views, you need to do this to make sure you have a voice.
Yeah. And when does this all happen, Lee? And do you think most people are putting their hands up to be re-elected?
It's happening June, July, so middle of the year. I really don't know. It's sort of, we only brought it up, we had a meeting the other day and it was brought up then, so it's sort of, we're really busy at the moment. We've had 3 meetings, we've had 4 workshops, trying to get this strategic plan there's been a lot of work going into it. So that's only a small part of it. We're really focusing on getting this strategic plan right, so that people can give us their views on what they want. So I really don't know. It depends, I guess, on who they vote to go on. I mean, personally, I would probably rerun for it if I had a choice.
Yeah.
I don't know about everybody else. I would imagine, because we've only been on for such a short time, we are all very keen, so I would imagine most of us would rerun for it. But then everybody else can as well. So.
Yeah. And Lee, how's it working now with an independent chair? Do you think that's been a good decision, and do you think the Marfac as a whole is working better now?
Yes.
Good.
I wasn't in with the first lot, so
Yes.
I
Yeah,
can't
hard
really
to say,
comment
but
on that. But Sharon is, she's great. She is really good. She's very, very strict on her governance, and that's what we really need. She'll pull us up. I mean, we argue. We argue in our meetings. We get quite vocal. We're all very passionate about what we want or what we want to see. And she does. She lets everybody talk. Everybody can have a say. I mean, we've had meetings till 11:30 at night sometimes. So we are working very, very hard. We might not be very vocal, but we are certainly there doing things.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no doubt about that at all. And Lee, I think we've had enough about the serious stuff. Tell us about your fishing lately. Have you been getting out much?
When am I supposed to go fishing?
That's right. Too much going on.
I did go out a couple of times. So we haven't really been out for tuna. We've sort of been out just doing a bit of, really recreational fishing, just going out there to catch a feed, enjoy ourselves out in the boat. So I don't know why, but every time I go fishing down the Cape, I catch those bloody blue devils.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. They're beautiful looking fish.
they are nice looking fish, yeah.
I wouldn't eat one. They're so squishy. You feel them. They're just a really weird feeling fish. They're really weird. So we've got some really good whiting from over KI. We did go out for tuna, and I think I got my first tuna. It must have been, 15, 16 kilos. So only a little one, really. But yeah, been really too busy. I've had a bit of health issues and stuff like that. So I'm really focusing on the kids stuff. This is what I'm passionate about. So my own fishing's probably going to have to come second for a little while.
Well,
but that's okay. I've done lots of competitions. I've won lots of trophies and stuff like that. I really don't need to win anymore.
Yes, no, your resume is very impressive already, Lee, on the record and trophy front. So glad that everyone else is getting a crack at it now. But Lee, thanks a lot for all your work you've been doing both on the Marfac and on the Reeling In Junior Anglers. We really appreciate that as a South Australian angling group, so well done on that.
Thank you.
And we'll make sure we promote it all on Facebook, keep everyone up to date, particularly with the voting that's coming up in the future, and also the My Giving Circle campaign to try and raise some more money to keep the kids fishing going.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks, guys.
Fantastic, Lee. Thanks a lot for joining us today.
Okay, see ya.
Bye.
All right, dears, bloody good to hear from Lee Van Soest again.
Yes, always good to have Lee on the show. She's always got something going on, extremely passionate about recreational fishing, and we love it.
And she's generous with her time, and even when we don't have her on the show, she often will chip in her 2 cents to us and help us out with some news as well.
Yes, absolutely, mate. Right, let's get on to some more news. Rhodey, have you been down to the southeast and caught yourself a snapper?
I haven't been down there, mate. You have, and I don't think you caught any. I'm not even sure you took the boat.
Wasn't open then.
I was, okay. Well, I didn't know when you went, mate. Sorry.
All right. Don't unnecessarily try and banter me.
All right, but anyway.
I wasn't there from Feb 1.
The snapper fishing season in the southeast is open from 1 February 2021 to 31st of October.
Yes.
The recreational catch limit for snapper is... For the first part of that has been set at 2,133 kilograms. Mm-hmm. Once that's reached, the fishery's closed.
Yep, done.
So minimum size, as always, 38 centimetres. The personal daily bag limit is just 2.
Yep.
And with 3 or more people on board a boat, 6.
Yep, and there's a couple of other things. So jump on the Facebook. You've got to do some mandatory reporting of snapper catches. You can do that via the new PERS's Fishing Recreational app, or you can also jump online or call the 24-hour Fish Watch.
And you've got to report it then and there, I think, don't you?
You do. You actually have to give them the location if you're not uploading that on the fishing app.
Yeah, and as always, wherever you're fishing, you need to have your release weight.
Yes.
So get down to our Savage Tackle.
Yes.
So we had them in our tackle segment a few weeks ago.
Yes.
And we've always got ours on the board. It's in the back hatch. We know where it is, ready to go.
Yep, absolutely.
So good gear that is, Diz.
It certainly is. Let's move on to the carp comp. The SA Carp Frenzy. Lake Bonnie down at Barmera. Wonderful spot. Nice little golf course down at Barmera if you're down that way, big man.
We might go, take the sticks, take the rod, and get into the $3,000 first prize if we're lucky.
Oh, yeah, to be
so
nice.
13th of March, that is, Diz.
Yep.
Second prize, $1,500. Third prize, $500. Yep. Other great prizes including 5 weekend getaway packages, a fishing kayak, swag, fishing gear, local wine, produce, and more. Entry is just $20 for adults and $10 for kids, Diz.
Yeah, no, it's a good thing. The Riverland is a lovely spot. So, you know, if you love your carp fishing, or if you just like being out there, there's some really good prizes up for grabs. So get down there and get amongst it.
And kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Knock a few carp off while you're at it.
Yeah, it's good for the fishery, isn't it?
A few beers. There's a third bird. You kill them.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. It's really good. Now for a little bit of a sour note of the fishing news. We don't like these popping into our news feed, do we?
Look, I think it's a bit of a bittersweet moment these days because we like the fisheries being on top of this.
True.
So more fines. This time a 51-year-old fella got done for taking nearly 2 dozen undersized blue swimmer crabs at Thompson's Beach.
It's a hot spot.
It is. This was January he did it. 21 of his 23 were undersized. He was whacked with $190.
Yeah.
Under the new fines, $715 when they come in.
Yeah.
So the quicker they get in, the better.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, mate. We do not like... you're right. We like hearing these stories, but I'm just curious as to when people are going to learn that you shouldn't be taking undersized blue swimmer crabs, and you certainly shouldn't be bloody doing it down at Thompson's Beach because that is an absolute hotspot.
You know what else you shouldn't do? You shouldn't take 175 razorfish hearts, particularly when the daily limit is 25 and the total possession limit is 100.
Yeah, it's not good, that.
And if you do want to do that, Diz, that'll cost you $2,050 at the Port Augusta Magistrates Court.
I could buy myself some nice fishing gear for a couple of $1,000.
So I'm not sure what you do with 175 razorfish hearts.
Well, you probably sell them to your nearest and dearest or something and try
But
and
it's
make
not a good
mockery
idea.
out of the fishery. It's just an absolute joke, mate. We hate it.
So, yeah, good that they're whacking them.
Yeah, absolutely. Hit them for 6. We got, just on them, did we talk about this last time? We got pulled over by the fisheries. It was great to see them at Island Beach.
Island Beach, they were good fellas. They gave us a little quiz on the size limit of your
They
whiting,
did.
your flathead, bag limits.
They did.
We nailed it.
And then they quickly gave us a little whack on the way out that we didn't bag out.
Yeah. All our fish were size, though.
Well, of course
They were
did, but
impressed with our knowledge and our ability to keep the right ones.
They
But
weren't impressed with our ability to catch
they didn't
fish,
think we
though.
were much chop getting 10 whiting and a couple of flatties.
Yeah, no, they didn't think that was any good. All right, Roddy, let's move on to the Brim Masters kayak comp. This is always a good one for those in the kayak fishing scene, isn't it, mate?
Yes, coming round shortly. So round 1 at Westlakes, entries are open. So early bird $50 up until the 19th of Feb,
Yep.
and then it goes up to $60.
Yeah, so you can get in your $60 closing on midnight the 28th.
So make sure you get on that.
Yeah, not too much longer, so you want to get around it. Plenty of sponsors. We love seeing that, and it's a good event to get amongst if you're an SA kayak fisher person.
Definitely get down and get involved in that one, Diz, for sure.
Absolutely, and one last little fishing comp we do want to talk about is obviously the Hotel Arno fishing comp, one of the greatest fishing comps held in the lovely Eyre Peninsula area.
Yeah, so that one's on Sunday, March 7, which I think is the same date, Diz, as the Brim Masters. I think we might have neglected to mention the date of that comp.
Oh, yes, we did.
So they're both on
It's been a
March
clash. It's a clash, is it?
So you got to choose. Are you going to Hotel Arno fishing comp or the Brim Masters?
I suppose it depends if you want a road trip down there.
Weekend away,
and you want to fish in there because I tell you what, you want to be there at 8:30 to register and you've got to be back by 5:30 for weigh-in. It's $20. It's only $20 to fish the comp and you get a 6-pack to get on your boat.
So a 6-pack of frothies.
frothies.
Your choice?
4X.
That's actually responsible, though,
4X.
middies.
Yeah, it is. And a barbecue for tea after the weigh-in at 6 p.m.
And what are the prizes for, Diz?
You're going for heaviest whiting. You're going for longest whiting.
Do you think they might be the same whiting, potentially?
Could be. Sometimes you don't get the big fat ones.
You do.
Longest whiting, longest squid, and they do have a WTF. What the is that comp? I imagine that'd be for the random species that you seem to love pulling out of the ocean. And
You reckon I
never
could pull out a big ornamental cowfish and win that one?
and you never catch the target species.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
But I imagine some of the winners, you've just randomly pulled up some sort of reefy material or something. That'd win it.
Oh, not even a fish, you reckon?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm just speculating.
Yeah,
but
fair
I
enough.
imagine if you plucked something out of the ocean that was just completely random and not expected, like let's just say you pulled up a boot.
Yeah, I think a boot would go close.
You reckon a boot would get it?
I reckon it would, Diz.
Okay, very good. Head down to Hotel Arno. Rhodey, a couple of last little things before we wrap up the news segment and get on and have a chat with Moira. There's been a bit going on with the kingfish.
Yeah, so I've just been reading this, Diz. South Australian Fishing Alliance has put a bit of an article up saying that the commercial yellowtail kingfish catch is 50 times its allocated share.
Not good to hear.
So they've got a bit of a table and to sort of support this.
Yes.
But that seems to be a long way out of whack, done that 50 times.
It does seem to be a long way out of whack. And I mean, I think, as always with this, there's a bit of conjecture because there's estimates and all sorts of, weird things at play. But this is something that obviously created a lot of uproar in the media and amongst rec fishing and commercial communities.
Yeah.
And so it rears its head again.
And I'm just looking at this table, Diz. So the share of recreational species allocated to commercial, recreational and Aboriginal traditional fishing sectors, this has been quoted by the government.
Yes.
The yellowtail kingfish in particular, 0.12% of the total yellowtail kingfish catch is allocated to commercials. Do we think they're taking more than that? This is claiming they're taking 50 times that.
Seems fishy.
So there's something not quite right going on here, Diz.
No.
But we've heard a lot about the kingfish this last sort of 6 to 12 months.
Yes.
But yeah, it's not good, is it?
No, it's not, and it's just something that needs to be worked through, I reckon.
It's a work in progress. And we're not bashing the commercials. It just needs to be... everyone needs to work together on it, really.
I reckon that's one thing that would be talked and discussed heavily at Marfac, to be honest, just given the media run it had.
Yeah. So we're saying that in 2020 there was approx 10 tonne or more taken.
Yeah.
Between 2000 and 2013, only averaged about a quarter of a tonne.
Yeah, it's a big jump.
So it's gone up massively.
Yeah.
So anyway, hopefully they're on top of that. Diz, what
another
do you got
little
next?
story that broke from the South Australian Fishing Alliance was the discussion around the price for Goolwa cockles.
Yep.
Always a hotly discussed topic given how popular the cockle is as a bait of choice for many anglers.
Yeah, and Graham Keegan's been involved in this, I think, hasn't he, Diz?
Yes, he has. He's been discussing this. He had a yarn with Rowie about it because Rowie wasn't terribly impressed with the price that he was possibly going to be paying into the future. But I think the crux of the discussion is basically that Goolwa Pipico have a large majority of the quota.
By a large majority, do you know what percentage it is?
I think we're talking 60%, mate. They are holding 60% of it, and that's looking to grow because a subsidiary of their company called Kuti Co. is owning 10% currently, which they now own, and it's expected that that would potentially increase in the future, meaning they might hold over 90% of the quota, effectively giving them a monopoly.
It's a lot.
It is a lot.
And what are we going to pay for our cockles, Diz?
Well, I think they're talking upwards of $30 a kilo.
You know what that's telling me? My ability to pull cockles out of the surf is going to become more and more valuable to this team.
Well, it's interesting because this particular article goes on to discuss the area that we have access to fishing for cockles as a recreational community, and that the particular area that we have gets closed from time to time due to E. coli concerns, which we know full well. So a bit of work to be done on that. Good work from the South Australian Fishing Alliance to raise it. I imagine another one that the Marfac are discussing and analysing.
Yeah, now, Diz, that is a wrap for the news. That was a jam-packed edition.
It was, mate.
All right, Diz, we're very lucky to be joined today by Moira Jenkins, the Mayor of Victor Harbour. She's fresh off a successful campaign fishing in the Coast to Coast competition with Team Just a Girl, with Tracy Tito and co. Moira, thanks for coming on.
Oh, my pleasure, my pleasure.
Thank you very much for joining us, Moira. And the weather didn't play the game, but it was fantastic to see you out there. But let's get stuck into the 5 questions we ask all of our guests. Tell us about your best fish. Has it been on the boat with Team Just a Girl?
Actually, catching my first tuna last year at the Coast to Coast tournament was pretty much a highlight of my fishing. It was the first tuna I'd ever caught. It fought like anything, and my arms were just so sore afterwards. But I tell you what, it was just the most amazing feeling.
They're certainly great fun to catch, and you're very blessed living at Victor Harbour because it's a great spot to target them.
Yes.
Oh, look, it was just great. I actually even felt a bit guilty because it's just such a beautiful beast.
Yes.
Catching it and killing it, I just was, I sort of felt excited but also sad at the same time. But, I think my philosophy is if we're going to eat meat and if we're going to eat fish, we've got to be prepared to kill it. We can't divorce ourselves from that part of it. And it was very tasty.
And I think as long as you do the right thing and you get it straight on the ice and you make sure you fillet it well and use as much of the meat as you can, and you only sort of take what you can use, it's there's nothing wrong with taking home a feed.
Oh, look, absolutely. And one of the great things about the tuna comp is that over the years that I've been, I think this was the third year that I've been in it, one of the things that we've asked is that if anybody at the filleting station has got any extra fillets, I've been collecting those fillets to give to Rotary, Victor Harbour,
nice.
our Rotary Club. And our Rotary Club, every few months, take part in it's called a Cafe Crozier, and it's a feeding the homeless here and people who are less advantaged or more disadvantaged. And so that bag of tuna fillets produced some really good meals. I think they had steak one night, and then they had tuna mornay later on in the year. So that was another really good thing that came out of that.
Yeah, that's really good that it's getting used and making the most of it, Moira. That's good to hear.
Absolutely.
What is your favourite thing about fishing?
I think the camaraderie, the social aspect of the fishing, I really like. And one of the things that we were talking about on the boat on Sunday, the weather had calmed down a little bit, was just being out in the fresh air. It was just so lovely. There's the fresh air, the sea. You're removed from your normal day-to-day chatter in your head and what's going on in your head. It was just really nice.
Yeah, I think you're dead right. You can definitely zone out when you're out on the boat. You sort of forget about everything else that's going on, and you're just having a good time with friends out there in the fresh outdoors, which is always good. And Moira, tell us about your first fishing memory, or what got you into fishing. Were you dragged along by Team Just a Girl, or what happened?
Look, when we were kids, we used to do lots and lots of sailing.
Okay.
And so my first fishing memories are really fishing off the back of the yacht or trawling for snook or, fishing. And I come from New Zealand, so sort of fishing in New Zealand. But one of my strongest early memories was when we lived overseas. So when I was quite young, we lived in Tonga. So Tonga's sort of a group of islands in the middle of the Pacific, sort of near Fiji, Samoa, that area. So this would have been the 70s. There was still the traditional whale fishermen that went out with the handheld harpoons. And I can still remember one season they harpooned a whale, and then they drag it to the reef and they put it on the reef. And when the water goes down at low tide to expose the reef, the dead whale is on the reef, and all the villagers go out with their cane knives and their knives, and they strip this whale of blubber and meat and everything, and they have to do that quickly because when the tide comes back up, the sharks, of course, come in and get the rest of the whale. And I've still got really vivid memories of that as a very young child, seeing that, and my parents having some of this whale meat that they brought home for dinner. So, of course, nowadays that you wouldn't do that. And I went back to Tonga a few years ago and met the son of one of the whale fishermen who had died now. He was too old. But the son, who would have traditionally been a fisherman, had actually turned into a tourist boat operator and was taking people whale watching. So he had actually moved from catching and hunting whales, and the family's tradition, to becoming very much an environmentalist and a protector of whales and whale watching.
Done the full circle.
So I thought that was really interesting to see that change.
Yeah. Now, Moira, tell us, what is your favourite sort of fishing? Is it getting out with the team Just a Girl and chasing the tuna, or what do you like to do? What's your favourite type?
Well, I suppose I haven't got a lot to compare it with. I mean, I love going out with Team Just a Girl. They're just fabulous, and I love the way that they introduced women to fishing and to boating, and encourage them to learn all the different skills involved with that. I think fishing for me is about the people who you fish with. And so, being able to fish with Tracy and the crew on Just a Girl has been really special. And just like when I go, sailing and we're just a trawling for snook or catching squid off the side of the boat, it's about the people that I'm fishing with.
Yeah, and you always have...
And of course the good feed afterwards.
Yeah, that's right. It's nice when it sort of gets on the plate, you're on the end of it. It's always good when you get to enjoy a feed, isn't it?
Absolutely. And nothing beats fresh fish.
Yeah, that's for sure. Now, Moira, we follow Team Just a Girl on Facebook, and I like their YouTube clips. And if there's one thing I know, they like having a good time and a good laugh. So you must have a funny fishing story or one that got away. Tell us about that.
Oh dear. Well, actually, one did get away from me on Sunday. I caught one, and just as I was bringing it up to the boat, because the weather was terrible, the boat went over a wave, and I fell on my bottom, and the line went across the side of the boat and got cut, and this beautiful tuna disappeared off into the distance. But you're right, they are a great bunch of girls. They are a really good value and very accommodating to beginners like myself.
It's a good way to get into fishing, going out with a more experienced crew.
Absolutely.
It's really good what they do. Tell us about the weekend. We didn't end up making it down there, Moira, due to the weather amongst other commitments. We sort of didn't all line up for us this weekend.
Unfortunately not.
But it was good to see...
Hey, look, if I could go out in that weather, you boys could go out in that weather. What are you? Come on, pull up your big boy pants and get out there.
Jeez, Diz, we didn't expect a comment from the mayor here, did we?
The mayor's just gone bang. No.
Well, we went out. The bigger boats were able to go out on Saturday morning.
Yeah.
So we went out for probably about 3 hours. On Saturday morning, it was quite lumpy, and I don't know. As you go past the bluff, I think it's a bit shallower there, so the seas actually can get quite rough.
Yeah.
But once you then go out a little bit further, it's a little bit better. But it's a bit like a washing machine when you first go out. We did all right. We stayed out there, came back about lunchtime. The weather got worse, windier in the afternoon, but then went out again. We left the Bluff boat ramp on Sunday about 6 a.m. Got back about 2:30, and we had a good time. We didn't go out as far as the Pages because it was just a little bit too blowy, but many boats did. I think Tracy was being very kind, having myself and another novice on board, so she didn't subject us to too much trauma. It was we had a lovely day. And from a mayor's perspective, one of the other reasons that I go out is that I think it's really important to see what happens in the town firsthand. So I really like being able to see what happens at the Bluff boat ramp, during a busy fishing competition, how things work down there, and have a chat to both the tourists and the local fishers. To see what the issues are from their perspective. So that's an important thing that I think I need to do as mayor. Yeah,
and it's a well-oiled machine, the Coast to Coast tournament, isn't it? Very well run by the pals.
Steve and Sarah put on a fabulous job, and each year I just become more and more impressed. It's a real family affair. There were kids out there. There were families out there. Safety was always their number one priority, and down where they camped down in Morgan Park, a real festive atmosphere there. So, my hat's off to Steve and Sarah, and also to all of the volunteers and the sponsors, because I know that they can't do this without all the sponsors. So, if any of the sponsors are listening, you do a fabulous job, and Steve and Sarah, thank you so much.
Yes, massive shout out to all the sponsors, the Powells in particular, who put on a great show, and thank you to Moira, to you and the council for getting involved and making it all possible as well.
Well, we're hoping next year. This year we were able to get the transportable toilets there, so that was good. And we're just going out to public consultation about putting some permanent toilets down there. So if people go to the council website, they can find the survey to fill out, and we'll get some toilets. Don't go asking me about all sorts of other things. I know we need other things down there, and parking's a problem, and we're focusing on the toilets at the moment. We'll hopefully get them. But people need to put their 2 bobs worth in and have their say.
Yeah, so I've been reading a bit about that, Moira. So you're worrying about the toilets at the moment. I've seen a lot of people trying to push the new boat ramp and the bigger boat ramp and all that sort of stuff. That's something you'll look at in the future. Is that right, Moira?
The council's currently doing a business case for another boat launching facility, probably down in the Eastern Beach area, but that's still in very, very early stages. We've got to see whether it stacks up. We've got to see whether environmentally it stacks up in order to be able to put it there. And then once we've looked at all of that, then we make a decision as to whether or not we could then, if we want to keep going with it, we'll go out to community consultation and get the community's input. So this is sort of, it'll be, if it does happen at all, it'll be a good couple of years away to have another boat ramp. And we have to look at logistics like parking and traffic flows and all sorts of things like that. Because Victor Harbour is not we're not a huge city in terms of the coastal space that we've got. And those people that use the Bluff boat ramp at the moment would understand, the car parking problems that we've got. And we did have overflow car parking up Jagger Road and a little reserve that people could park on for overflow parking. But unfortunately, someone nicked the signs that we had directing people up that way. So, it's an ongoing issue that we're aware of. We're trying to deal with it, but it's not easy.
Yeah, it's certainly good to hear that you're very aware of what's going on down there, Moira, and get yourself and other people in the council getting involved in these sort of activities would help you to understand where all the fishers are coming from, I imagine too.
Yeah, and we have got a working group of fishers that look at our boating. It's a boating facilities working group, and look at what's needed down there as well. We've got fishermen in there, people from the yacht club in there, people that take out tour boat operators, charter operators. So so that we can gather all year round what some of the issues are and ask them who have the experience to help solve some of the problems that we have.
Yeah, absolutely. As always with these things, they're multifaceted and generally very complicated, but it's nice to hear that there's a plan in place, and certainly for the meantime we will definitely be jumping on board and sharing it amongst our social media about the boat ramp toilets, because we think that's a great initiative, and thank you for rolling with that. That's fantastic, Moira.
No worries. It's a good council initiative, and I think all the elected members are on board and really wanting that to happen. So, we've got a good group, and we want to be able to support our community.
Yes.
Fantastic. Moira, thank you very much for coming on the show today. It's been excellent to hear about your recent adventures with Team Just a Girl in the Coast to Coast, and we look forward to hopefully meeting you in person maybe next year at the Coast to Coast.
That would be lovely, and hopefully next year we've got sunny weather.
Yes, definitely. Fingers crossed.
Touch wood.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for inviting me on, and hopefully meet up with you next year.
Yes, thanks a lot, Moira. Well, thanks for your time.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
See ya. Bye. All right, Diz, great to hear from Moira Jenkins. Very generous with her time, and she's into the fishing scene down there at Victor, isn't she?
Yeah, we love it that she gets involved in a community, tournament like that. It's run in her area, being the mayor, so that's fantastic.
And back-to-back mayors on the show, Diz.
Back-to-back mayors, unbelievable.
You wouldn't read about it.
Unbelievable.
All right.
It was just good to catch up with Mike Pengilly and hopefully see him at the races.
If you haven't already heard the episode 25 with Michael Pengilly, jump on that. That's another good listen.
Yes, no, it's a good one. Rhodey, let's get stuck into the report, mate. We have talked about this, so we're going to whiz through it. Tommy Jonas and a few of the Port boys, they got over to KI. They did exceptionally well. They smashed the nannies, got on a heaps of whiting with Gav, got some blue moes.
Some crayfish.
Crays, good haul of
West of
crays.
Snellings, I think they said, down the western end of the island.
Yeah, good haul of crays
So
in
somewhere
pots.
down towards Western River, I assume.
Yeah, so they didn't get the snorkeling, the scuba gear on like
No, I
you did yourself.
don't think Kenny Hinkley let him do that. He was worried about sharks.
Was he? He
No,
said,
I don't know, mate. I'm talking crap. But they did do well.
Yes, they
Hamish
did.
and Ollie Wines and a few of the boys over there getting right amongst it.
Yeah, lovely to see, and it would have been a good little break for them. We hope they're recharged and refreshed to take the absolute mickey this season.
Well, the boys are full up of crayfish energy.
Yes, no, we love it. We love it. All right, Rody, another friend of ours, a very avid, keen fisherman, Alex Hayes, Salty Rain.
Yes.
Good shout out.
Yes.
Good
He
little
got
quote, mate. We love that.
got in the Victor Harbour tuna today.
Smashed
Beautiful
them.
day, he said.
Big bust off of Kingy.
He was
Huge
cut
Kingy.
up by that. He said it was a stomper.
Yeah, not happy.
He said the reel was hot. Like it was hot. It was taking drag. And he said they just couldn't stop it.
Maybe we should get Hazy on next episode just to tell us, talk it through.
Stick bait,
Stick bait.
he said. Kingy hit it.
Bang.
Couldn't keep it off the ledge. And it was going, he reckons.
Jeez, spewing.
So that would have been a great photo. Great catch if you had got that in.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, you didn't have to be too far from the action from the coast to coast. If you're on their Facebook, you'd have seen lots of fish caught. Dan and Flacky gave us a little bit of a rundown. They told us there were heaps of little ones. Flacky pulled out a couple of bigger editions off a few schools. And look, it was really good to see Dan wearing his prized possession, the All the Gear hat.
And it's a new hat, Diz, because he put so many hours into the old one. We had to give him a freshie.
I know, and I love that from him.
So he's got two, the great man.
Yes, no, it was a good, fresh-looking hat. Loved it that it got up on the socials.
Yes.
Good work to you, Dan.
All right, Diz. Now, this is a bit of a... we've got to travel for this last bit of the fishing report, but it was too good to not include.
Okay.
This is a report coming out of Tasmania, the Tamar River area.
Oh, okay.
What's the biggest whiting you've caught, Diz?
Oh, mate, I reckon I've got one close to nudging 50.
Yeah, it's bloody tiny, mate. Todd Lambert caught and measured this 80-centimetre whiting.
I reckon Gav's probably got one, that.
The thing's a damn horse.
It's huge, isn't it?
It is a massive fish. So that's been shared on the iFish with Tackle World page. That's been well shared on Facebook.
Yeah, it's huge.
But it's a bloody stomper. So
Yeah.
well done to Todd Lambert. If he ever comes over to Adelaide, we'll get him on.
Yeah, no, good fish. We love that. Righto, Rody, that wraps up the report. Let's get on to our new favourite segment where we discuss a bit of tackle. What's happening this week, mate?
Now, Diz, we're going to talk about some Burley this week because you were bloody hot on it over on KI every time we were whiting fishing.
Yeah, we were. Seems to be my little duty on the boat.
So me and Pez would get the cockles on the hooks, get them in. Dizzy rummages through the box.
Yeah.
And what did you pull out, Diz?
Of course, mate, I pull out the Nitro Pellets by Housey Tackle.
Yeah, and it comes in a convenient, I think it's a 5-litre container.
Yes, it does.
Little bottle,
it's a
like
lovely
a-
container. It fits perfectly in our tub just under the battery box there at the back of the stabby. We
And you've
love that.
really got the motion. You tip a bit in one hand, flick it one side of the boat,
Yeah.
tip a bit in the other, flick it around.
Yeah, sometimes I give you 4 flicks, sometimes I give you 5. Just depends on the day, depends
Yeah.
on the tidal action. Then swiftly after that, I hook up my favourite rig.
Where does that come from, Diz?
Of course, it comes from the fishing guru, and he's got some new ones. We tried and tested them.
Yes.
Not
Bit of a prototype.
Yeah, we love that though. They worked excellently. We got a few tingies.
Yes, we did. And what do we think? Was it the Nitro Burley that was bringing him in?
Look, I'm going to say yes to that.
Yeah. Certainly doesn't hurt your cause.
No, absolutely
And,
not.
you know, how can it not bring the fish on, Diz? It's amazing when you put it in the water and you watch it closely,
Yeah.
the fluorescent that comes out of it. That
Yeah.
has to bring the fish on.
Yeah, it does, mate.
So
you got to get down there and get yourself some.
It's got all the normal good gear you have in your in any other pellets.
Yeah.
Plus, it's got the fish hormones.
Plus a bit of juicy other goodness.
So it's like bloody Burley on steroids, that stuff.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
You'd be silly not to have it.
It's a far cry from your sort of petrol station bottle of
mate.
tuna oil, isn't it?
Puts it to shame.
It does. All right.
So get down to Let's Go Fishing at Christie's Beach for that great How's Your Tackle
Yeah.
Nitro Burley, the Whiting Burley.
Yeah, the crew down there will sort you out. You'll be lucky if you bump into Dan and have a yarn with him. He'll give you the top tips.
Actually, are we going down there for a knock-off beer Friday night, Diz?
Yes, good point. You do need to get down there and catch up with the guys for the Friday night barbie. What's the weather doing? Is it going to be good enough for that?
Oh, bloody hope so.
Oh, so do I.
So Dan and Boyd cooking the barbie, get down. We'll try and get there this week, I reckon, Diz.
Yeah, I reckon, mate. Fantastic.
All right, Diz, let's give a quick shout out to the socials.
Yep.
Make sure you're tagging us in your Instagram, your Facebook. Tom Jonas shared his, what he shared, the big whiting that he got. That put that Great Northern can to shame, that whiting did.
Yeah.
Rishi been getting busy on the freshwater species, and Dan, the fishing guru, sharing his cap, his tuna in the cap.
Yeah, no, we absolutely love that, don't
So
we?
make sure you are getting us involved, Diz.
Yep. Get involved. Share your photos. We love seeing them.
We do. All right, Diz, that is a wrap on episode 26.
Thanks for joining us, guys. And
Now,
we look
what can
forward-
we tell you about episode 27?
1 year.
1 year anniversary.
Oh, what should we buy ourselves? A Stella?
Oh, maybe one each.
A new boat?
Oh, we could do with a spare one.
A little tender vessel?
Yeah, we need a tender boat. Anyway, guys, our next one will be the big 1 year anniversary, so look forward to that.
Absolutely. Thanks for listening, guys.
And thanks to Moira and Lee for joining us.
Oh, yes.
See you guys.
Bye.
Rhodey and Diz hope you enjoyed today's episode of All the Gear But No Idea. Keep up to date by liking and sharing us on Facebook and Instagram. And you can subscribe on all the major podcast platforms. Until next time, good luck fishing.